Hello students, how are you? Today we are going to study the poem It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Albert Guest. Edgar Albert Guest was a British-born American poet who was popular in the first of the 20th century and became known as the People Poet. His poem often had an inspirational and optimistic view of the everything. Rhyme scheme A B C D. Normally the poem has 8-line stanza, but for your comfort we'll study 4-line stanza so that you can understand the poem well. In this case the rhyme scheme will be AB. Rhythm. Rhythm is combination of unstressed and stressed syllables. The poem is composed of qualitative iambic meter, giving the syllables a sound of dadum. A pleasing flow is observed through the fairly consistent line length and syllable numbers. What is the theme of this poem? The theme of this poem is about overcoming one's obstacle in the face of doubt and achieving what you know you can. The phrase "there are thousands to point out to you one by one" is meant to display the amount of doubt that people have, but also to that they are wrong. Dedication is the main focus of this poem and is amplified by the final statement, and you'll do it, which bring full circle the reality of achievement that can come with the personal confidence. Now we are going to study the poem stanza by stanza. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he wouldn't be the one who wouldn't say so till he tried. Here in if you look at the screen you will find the words done and won in stanza in line first and line 3. So they have same sound, so they are rhyming. Done and won. Similarly, replied and tried have same sound, so they are rhyming. So the rhyme scheme of this stanza is AB. The speaker opens with a phrase that would become the title of this poem in the first stanza. It couldn't be done. The phrase appears as a referral to an early statement to which the reader has no access. The speaker explains how somebody told the main character of this poem that anything couldn't be done. As a reaction to that statement, the man chuckled and denied it completely. He is not willing to accept that this challenge cannot be achieved without him attempting and failing. So he buckled right in with a trace of grin on his face. If he worried, he did it. He started to sing and he tackled the things that couldn't be done and he did it. In the first line of this stanza, the speaker describes how a man is buckling down to the task at hand. He does not appear to be too intimidated by what he is about to attempt. There is a trace of grin on his face that hid any worry that might also be present. He also started to sing when he went to tackle the things. So the first stanza ends with the revelations that the man accomplished the things that could not be done. Somebody scoffed. Oh, you'll do it. At least no one ever has done it. But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. The third stanza follows the same pattern as the previous one. It begins with the speaker relaying the same scenario in different terms. That there is somebody who is passing judgment on the situation before the determined man character can attempt the feat. The unnamed somebody says that the man will never do it because no one has ever done it. Just as with the first stanza, the second described the man readying himself to do it. He took off his coat and then took off his hat, and he did it. He's ready and he did it. Whatever it might be, it was done quickly. The narrator was surprised by how fast it happened. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or credit, He started to sing as he tackled the things that couldn't be done, and he did it. These lines speaks to the man's confidence, how it was that confidence that enabled him to do it. Again, the man is clearly pleased with himself. He lifts his chin with pride and smiles at the onlookers' surprised faces. The speaker emphasizes the optimistic attitude the man took, and the song he started to encourage himself onward. There are thousands to tell you that it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failures. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. Although by this point the main themes have been made very clear, guests reiterate them again. A speaker tells the reader that throughout life there are always going to be those who tell you something cannot be done. They will prophesy or predict your failures at any numbers of things you care about. The poet uses anaphora in the repetition of the words "there are thousands" for the third time in the third stanza. There is a great emphasis placed on the number of people who want to see you fail. But just buckle in with a bit of grin, just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the things that cannot be done, and you'll do it. In the final stanza, as is customary with guest poetry, the speakers summarize the main point of the previous verses. When people want to see you fail, the speaker tells the reader that they should buckle in with a bit of grin, just as the man in the first two stanzas did, and go to it. It does not matter what it is. Anything can be accomplished by someone dedicated enough. So, students, we have studied this poem. If you have any questions and queries about the this poem, you can write them in the comment section, and I answer there. Thank you very much.